Hello and welcome. In today's video, we're going to clear up a question that many people have been asking me. If you decide to use a fork of Ryujinx, is it better to go with Keaton or Ryubing, which is being maintained by Gleam? That's what we're going to find out right after the sponsor messages. If you want to buy original games while saving a lot, check out Instant Gaming, the digital store that sells games for various platforms, such as PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. Get games of all genres with discounts of up to 95%. You'll also find a variety of gift cards and credits for other services. You can pay for your order through your credit card on a website with a 4.7 rating on Trustpilot. You're buying games directly from Instant Gaming, not from other retailers. If you encounter any issues, Instant Gaming offers 24/7 support. And this month, Instant Gaming is offering a great discount on the newly released Monster Hunter Wilds, with up to 51% off, ensuring the lowest historical price for the game. Check out the price comparison with Steam's pricing. What are you waiting for to save? Links in the description. Before running our tests, let's talk a bit about the differences between these projects. Although it won't be tested in this video, we should mention a project that has received less attention in the scene, Ryujinx Mirror. Both it and KeatonTheBot focus on preserving Ryujinx after its shutdown, but they also bring some compatibility improvements and minor optimizations. However, the primary goal of both projects remains keeping the emulator as faithful as possible to the original version. On the other hand, GreemDev's fork introduced some performance hacks and has undoubtedly gained more speed since Ryujinx was discontinued. As I've observed in several other videos, this fork can outperform any Yuzu fork in certain cases, especially in games like Bayonetta 3 and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Looking at it this way, the video is practically over. But the big question is, among all the performance hacks implemented, how much has GreemDev's fork really improved? That's what we're going to find out in today's video. But before we continue, don't forget to leave a like so we can make more videos like this. And if this is your first time on the channel, consider subscribing to stay updated. Starting with Bayonetta 3, a game that remains exclusive to the Switch, I noticed a return of the fog geometry issue, which I hadn't encountered in my previous tests. To fix this, you need to disable anti-aliasing. However, since the visual quality of this game on the Switch is already lacking, this effect is almost essential to enhance the experience. Ryujinx is by no means the best platform to play this game. There are issues like slow shader compilation and audio-video desynchronization during cutscenes. In terms of performance, both emulators are tied, though GreemDev's fork has a slight edge in minimum and maximum FPS. However, looking at the average, the difference is insignificant. In Pokémon Scarlet, the optimizations between the emulators became more noticeable. While the average FPS remained practically the same, analyzing the low 1%, which represents stutters during new shader compilation, showed a huge difference. In this case, higher is better. GreemDev's fork achieved 41 FPS, while Keaton's fork only reached 10 FPS. Minimum and maximum FPS also showed slight variations, but nothing particularly noteworthy. The real difference here is the low 1%. Princess Peach Showtime was another game tested. Although I didn't progress far enough, the community often reports that a certain kingdom in the game causes fatal errors in Yuzu forks, while Ryujinx remains stable. I've heard that the Citron team has already fixed this issue, making the game playable on Android, but I'm not sure if full progression is possible due to the fatal error. Performance-wise, both projects delivered identical results, making it look as if I captured the footage using the same emulator. Shadow Generations was supposed to be the first game where I showcased both emulators running the same gameplay. However, a critical issue prevented that. Keaton's fork couldn't keep the game running for long. This is the same issue seen at launch when the game broke most emulator projects. Currently, this issue has already been fixed in Citron and Torzu. In GreemDev's latest versions, the game still had crashes when selecting levels, but fortunately, this has now been resolved, making it the only fork of the two capable of running the game without issues. Sonic Frontiers still runs better on Ryujinx. The Citron developers managed to make the game run in Vulkan on Sintro, but after a few minutes, it crashes. On Ryujinx, the game remains stable with no crashes. There are mods that allow it to run at 60 FPS, but just like Bayonetta 3, even when increasing the internal resolution to X2, the visual quality remains poor, with noticeable jagged edges and other graphical issues. Analyzing the performance of both projects, it will be hard to notice any difference since the game is locked at 60 FPS by the mod. However, there is once again a crucial point, the low 1%. All the metrics between the two projects are practically identical, but the low 1% on GreemDev's fork is higher, meaning fewer stutters during shader compilation. This could be a decisive factor when choosing which project to use for running the game. Lastly, one of the most beloved games among you and a true benchmark when it comes to performance, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. It's worth mentioning that in one of my previous tests, this game performed better than on Yuzu forks. I'm waiting for my new PC to be returned so I can retest and confirm this difference. In the meantime, test it yourselves at home. If you get better results with Ryujinx or Yuzu forks, let me know in the comments. Regarding performance here, GreemDev's fork had an average of 6 FPS more, and in my opinion, due to the complexity of this game, that's a considerable difference. As you may have already noticed, GreemDev's fork not only compiles shaders faster but also has higher compatibility with certain titles. Additionally, in terms of updates, it receives more attention since a larger team is working on this project. So, if you're looking for better performance and compatibility, especially with newer games, this is the best option. But does that mean Keaton's fork is bad? The answer is no. Keaton is someone I've had the pleasure of meeting, and he is very helpful and engaged with the community. Whenever GreemDev implements something relevant, he usually brings it to his fork at a decent speed. However, since it's difficult for a single person to do the same work as a small team, his updates take a bit longer, and issues tend to take more time to be resolved. Use this fork if you want the same experience as Ryujinx before its shutdown, but with minor adjustments. And that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.